Today we'll be learning more about the emGuarde as well as the emGuarde business, because there is a slight difference between the Kangen business and the emGuarde business. So all of this will be covered today. So please do enjoy the video that eMagic has prepared for all of us.
Your home is your sanctuary, a place of comfort, wellness, and security for your family. Today, we're using more digital and electronic devices. While they bring convenience and enjoyment, these devices also emit electromagnetic energies constantly during use. Invisible to our eyes, these electromagnetic energies affect the environment around us. As a result, we're exposed to these types of energies day in, day out. Introducing emGuarde, a patented technology by eMagic. When turned on, emGuarde harmonizes targeted electromagnetic noise radiation within 1 gigahertz, creating a defense zone of 8 meters. emGuarde harmonizes the environment around you, making it safe for you and your loved ones. Simply place it wherever it's needed and plug it into a dedicated USB port, whether you're on the go, at work, or in the comfort of your home. emGuarde is designed to integrate seamlessly in any situation. You can now enjoy the benefits of technology without worrying about any potential risks. Protect your family's health and well-being. Contact your eMagic distributor today. emGuarde. Change your environment, change your life.
That was a fantastic video. All right, let me just start the recording.
Recording in progress.
1 second. Oh.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Video that was prepared by eMagic. If you would like to look for that video, just go on YouTube and Google for emGuarde eMagic, and it will actually pop up as one of the first few. I think it's called Your Home is Your Sanctuary. That is the name and title of the video. Is Your Sanctuary. I misspelled that, but yeah. So fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me in this call. Now, it would do me a huge favor if you guys would participate and to also turn on your cameras to give me the energy for me to present today. So if you would like to get maximum value out of this call, make sure your camera is on so that you guys are keeping yourself in check. You're paying attention to this presentation. All right, so let's go and jump ahead and let's talk about what this emGuarde is all about. Right. So I'm not too I'm not too old and not too young as well. I was born in between 2 generations, and my childhood was quite similar to, I think, most of us here, right? When we were growing up and we were young, our childhood, our pastime was mostly revolved around outdoor activities. We would play football, we would go to the playground, we would come up with ingenious games that as I would call it, right, to entertain ourselves as children. Unfortunately, today's society, right, children have become glued to screens. Either your iPad, your phones. Some children would make a fuss just to get a hold of their parents' phones. Now, who here, quickly in the chat, who here can relate to this current problem? Who here are parents and they have children, and you also agree that your children, unfortunately, this is the reality of their life, right? They are glued to your screens, they're glued to the phones, and you know, it's becoming very, very, very common for children to basically be entertained, be kind of kept in control with their devices. So I'm talking about a whole different type of pollution, right? We talk about water pollution, we talk about air pollution, and we also talk about noise pollution. One moment. Trying to get up. Yep. Talk about air pollution, noise pollution. Now, there is also a different type of pollution called EMF pollution. Unfortunately, EMF pollution is unique because it doesn't directly affect our senses, unlike other types of pollution. And it is undetectable. Sometimes you can feel it, but most cases you don't. So we're talking about a silent pollution, or we call it a silent killer today, that has been causing a lot of harm uh, without us really paying attention to it, right? This is a documentation and a press release from World Health Organization, WHO. Now, they say that radio frequency electromagnetic fields are actually possibly carcinogenic to humans, right? They increase the risk of glioma, which is a malignant type of brain cancer that is associated with wireless phone use. So a lot of people have been saying today that, hey, cancer is on the rise, certain chronic illnesses are all on the rise. Now, I'm not saying that electronic devices are the main reason why all these things are increasing in common, right? But I believe it adds to it, and as well as many other related problems, especially when it comes to health, your food, your water. And that's why I'm so happy that emGuarde has introduced such a wonderful product to their product line. Because all of us, we are all emGuarde distributors, most of us are, and we all know and love our Kangen water. And our Kangen water has been proven and tested all around the world, and he has given us high quality drinking water that is improving our health every single day. So again, emGuarde is introducing this product. And I would say, guys, this product is so relevant in today's society because everything that we do, everywhere that we go, we are constantly surrounded by electromagnetic radiation from our devices. So when we talk about an electronic device, right? Maybe your cell phone, maybe your computer, maybe your remote or your power bank or anything like that. Now, some people find it a bit confusing. So I would like to separate three different types of energies that are being produced by all kinds of electric devices. Number one, as highlighted in black, is called the electromagnetic field strength. Now, this is crucial for devices' performance and safety. It arises from various sources, including electronic appliances and equipment. Basically, what this means is that the electromagnetic field strength is the energy produced to actually function to keep the device functioning. That is basically the battery, the AC or DC cable. That is the current, as we call it. Now, the number two, it highlighted in blue, is called the signal strength. Most of us have phones, most of us have laptops, most of us have Wi-Fi. Now, that is the signal strength radiation, right? The third one is something called electromagnetic noise. As we can see, it's an unwanted interference that disrupts signal, including leakage and unwanted disruptive energies. It arises from various sources, including electronic appliances and device. Now, the things highlighted in red, that is what the emGuarde is suppressing. The emGuarde is not suppressing signal strength. The emGuarde is not suppressing your electromagnetic field, right? I want to make it clear that the emGuarde is suppressing the electromagnetic noise. Now, let's look at the various different types of devices that actually produces the type of electromagnetic sources. It'll be your phones, it'll be your Wi-Fi, it'll be your aircon, your television, induction cooker, microwave, and even power sockets, right? So let's take a deeper look into aircons, microwaves, and induction cookers. Now, we know that these devices, they don't produce signal. But these two devices, they produce electromagnetic current. That's how they function. That's how they turn on. That's how they produce cold air or cook food or warm your food. But the byproduct of these devices functioning under the current is actually something called electromagnetic noise. Now, if you look at the black cloud, electromagnetic field is measured in something called Tesla or G, Gauss. T for Tesla, G or Gauss. That is electrocurrent. If you look at the red color cloud, electromagnetic noise or interference is measured in microwatts or microwatts, megawatts, decibels. Now, these are the things that are actually causing us to feel discomfort. For an example, let's say you are in your living room and you've been sitting there constantly watching the television. I mean, you're relaxed, you're not really doing much. But most people, when they watch the television for too long, some of them say they feel lethargic. Some of them, they still feel tired. Some of them actually get headache. Some of them get eye dryness. So why is that? Your body's not doing anything different. It's just sitting there. You're not straining yourself. You're not overexerting yourself, but yet people experience this discomfort. So it has been proven by many, many different doctors and scientists that actually long-term exposure to all of these electronic devices can actually cause harm to the human body. And how does it cause harm? Well, later we will find out more as I continue in this presentation. Number two, let's talk about electronic devices that use signal as well. As the previous one, the number one, they need electromagnetic current field to operate, to turn on, to function. The second one is actually signal strength, right? That's why if you go to your router, your Wi-Fi modem, your router, and you look underneath, right? They will say certain things about your device functioning at certain frequencies, right? Wi-Fi functions at 2.4 gigahertz. Oh, wait, one moment, someone is unmuted. Thank you so much. Now, again, these devices, they also produce electromagnetic noise or interference. I don't know about you, but when I use my iPhone or whatever phone for too long, I feel quite lethargic. I feel quite tired. Even though my phone may not necessarily be, I may not necessarily be on the phone call or talking to someone. I could just be browsing through Instagram or Facebook, but for some reason, my body feels very lethargic. And again, this is related to the electromagnetic noise or the interference, right? Now, I would like to introduce to you a very simple sound frequency energy demo. Now, a lot of people ask me, how come is it called electromagnetic noise? Because, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, the radiation that's produced, the EMR, electromagnetic radiation, they actually travel through noise frequency waves. And this very simple video will actually demonstrate that no matter the frequency of waves, this EMR actually does travel along as well, right? So this is a video that was prepared by one of our specialists, emGuarde specialists. So do take note that this is a Apple application called Sonic. You can go and download it. And what he'll be doing is that he'll be using one of the RD. If for those who are not aware of what RD is, it is the instrument that we use at the moment to actually measure the electromagnetic noise from a electromagnetic device. So this is a very quick video. Please do enjoy.
In this demo, we're going to show you how does the sound energy travels away from the phone by using an app from the Apple by the name of Sonic. So we install this app, and this app you can actually change the frequency from 0 Hz all the way up to about 25,000 Hz. Now, basic science educates us that our human ear can listen to sound energy somewhere from 20 Hz all the way to about 20,000 Hz. That's the max. Anything above 20,000 Hz, you can hardly hear anything, okay? So in this case, I'm going to show you an example by playing a sound wave of 9,000 Hertz. Can you hear this sharp noise coming out from the phone? Okay, so now let's measure how intense this is. Now what I have here, it's a gadget where it's built to register or to detect high frequency electromagnetic noise radiation in microwatts. Okay, I'm going to pull the phone away from me for about 20 centimeters. And before I activate the app, as you can see, there is no intensity from the radiation detector. Now once I play the app, you're looking at an intensity of about 2,300 to about 2,400 microwatts. Okay, pause again. Let me do again a contrast. Play again. So this is how the noise energy travels from the phone. Okay, now next, what we'll do next is I'm going to switch the frequency all the way to 25,000 Hertz, and this is actually within the non-audible level. And as soon as I press the play button, I think you can hardly hear anything, right? Because I'm not hearing anything, okay? It's playing now, but I'm not hearing anything, okay? So I'm going to bring back the same gadget now, okay? Just pause the app, and I'm going to bring back the same gadget to show you how intense this is, although it is non-audible, which is you can't hear it, but this is how the energy travels away from the phone, okay? Now, let's activate the detector and play the app. So this is how intense it is at 25,000 Hertz. It's registering about 1,000 microwatts in average. Okay, about 1,002 now. Okay, let me show you the distance, the actual distance. I'm just move like this, and this detector is actually away from the phone for about 20 centimeter. Okay, now pause the app. I just want to show you the contrast. This is the distance. As soon as I pause it, the energy won't travel through the phone, and as soon as I play again, this is how it travels, and now it is actually registering an intensity of about 2,000 microwatts. In this,
That was pretty scary, right? Can you imagine that even though those frequencies, and they are clearly unaudible to us, we cannot hear those frequencies at all, but yet the electromagnetic radiation actually still travels on those waves, and it will reach us no matter what. So that's why we use the term electromagnetic noise, because effectively it is still a sound. It's just that our ears are incapable of hearing those sounds, right? So now we talk about the negative effects of electromagnetic disturbances. Now, this is a report that was done by EMF Safety Network in 2019, March of 12. And in this report, if you can just see the highlighted area, they basically did a survey, and the survey was about 871 participants. And all of these people, they indicated that these were the problems that they had that was related to their EMF exposure. Sleeping problems, fatigue, they feel very tired, concentration, memory, or learning problems. And I think that is quite common today. A lot of us, especially even the younger ones, they are finding it very difficult to actually focus and concentrate on something for a very long period of time. They can't seem to do that anymore. Stress and anxiety, headaches. Now, I only highlighted the ones that were above 50%, right? I've heard some testimonies that people actually don't put their phones, their laptops in their sleeping room, in their bedroom, sorry. And they tell me when they actually have their phone charging in their rooms, they actually don't get good sleep at all. So it's becoming a very common problem today that our electronic devices are actually affecting our daily activities and routines. Now, I would like to just state a disclaimer for everyone here. The emGuarde is designed and marketed for general use, specifically aimed at creating a balanced and harmonious environment by suppressing electromagnetic noise radiation within a specified frequency range. What it means is that the developers, they target specific frequency ranges that our electronic devices actually emit the most harm. Now, what is those frequencies? It is a trade secret. It is protected and is patented by the inventors, right? Because they can't let all of this information leak. emGuarde is not intended as a medical device, nor is it designed to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any medical conditions or diseases. So guys, the emGuarde is not a medical product. Please do take this in mind. Please do not tell your prospects or even your team members the wrong thing, right? This is very serious. The emGuarde is purely for general use, and it's been proven to suppress electromagnetic noise radiation. Now, I would like to share with you some testimonies from people who have been using the emGuarde for a while. And I will also add one into this later. My own personal testimony on the emGuarde, because I've been using for almost 7-8 months right now. Right, but let's hear it from Albert from Singapore first.
Hi, I'm Albert here. I'm from Singapore. I recently bought an emGuarde in October. The first person who experienced the result was my mom. She felt a lot of energy and can sleep better throughout the night. Whenever I travel to KL, I also bring the emGuarde along. Throughout the whole journey was a pleasant one, and I don't feel tired at all. My helper, who is taking care of my mom, also has similar effect. She can sleep throughout the night and wake up very refreshed in the day. Truly, this emGuarde is amazing. Thank you, Catherine, for introducing emGuarde to me. Thank you.
So guys, as you can hear, he said that the emGuarde has improved sleep problems. Right. So let's look at the next one. This is Miss Jess Yong from Alosata, Kedah. Right. So she speaks in Mandarin, but don't worry, for our foreign guests, there's actually English translations in the video itself. Right.
Hello，我是来自阿罗萨 Jazz， 今天要与大家分享一下我用了 emGuarde 之前和之后的 testimonial， 我的分享。在还没有用 emGuarde 之前呢，我的睡眠不是很好，就每一天早上很早就醒过来，然后就睡不下去了，还有那个心情也非常暴躁啦。然后自从Yvonne和 Yap 跟我分享了这个 emGuarde 之后呢，我决定买下来，是因为他们在我家测试，我家的那个辐射是非常高，所以呢，在第一晚我用这个 emGuarde 呢，我就觉得我的睡眠是特别好的，睡到都不想起来了，也觉得自己的心情啊，那个没有那么暴躁啦，孩子也发现我跟他们的沟通也越来越好。所以呢，这个 emGuarde 对我来说是非常棒啦。我的分享就在这里，谢谢。
Wonderful. So again, she mentioned about better sleep, and she wasn't so hot-tempered anymore. I would assume that is because she got more rest and she was more well-rested during the night, right? So emGuarde, from most, I think 90+% of all the emGuarde users at the moment, all of them say that they have been experiencing better sleep, much better sleep, even for myself, right? So I've been using the emGuarde for about 6 to 7 months now, and I only have one unit in my house. When I travel, I don't have a spare unit at the moment. So when I'm at home in Malaysia, my sleep is very, very good. I can feel it. And I have a habit of keeping my phones very close to me when I sleep sometimes. I charge it in my room. I'm one of those people, right? And when I travel, I do the same thing. But it's just that when I travel, I don't have the emGuarde with me. And guys, I can really feel the difference night and day. As soon as I wake up the next day, without the emGuarde, I feel very groggy, I feel very sleepy, I feel very unrested. As soon as I arrive back in Malaysia, where the emGuarde is protecting my house, as soon as I sleep and I wake up, I feel completely refreshed, right? So the emGuarde is capable of harmonizing all of this electromagnetic noise, right? So let's go next. So again, health problems related to EMF exposure, sleep, fatigue, concentration, stress, anxiety, and headaches. And again, these are the things that people have been experiencing. These are people have been areas where emGuarde users have been improving on as well with the emGuarde installed in their house. Now, I'd like to share about this doctor. Her name is Dr. Magda Havas. Now, I want to kind of relate this to why the emGuarde is capable of improving sleep, improving concentration. It reduces the stress in the body. Now, Dr. Magda Havas, she has committed her life's research into researching into something called electrosmog, right? Basically, the negative health effects that electromagnetic devices has on the human body. As you can see, she actually take live blood test analysis. Now, in her work, in her study and research, she has found that 7 minutes of computers usage, or even 10 minutes of cell phone usage, can actually cause the red blood cells in our body to stack. And the proper scientific name for it is called the Rulux formation, as you can see right here, right? Rulux formation. And this formation has very similarities to blood samples taken from people who have many chronic diseases as well as cancer patients, right? And the reason for that is because when this red blood cells start to stack, the body is actually getting less oxygen. And I will play a video for you in about close to a minute time, and you will see and understand more. And this video was actually recorded, and it was actually performed by an actual doctor in Malaysia, right? So a healthy red blood cell, the blood cells are more free, they're more open, right? So let me share with you this video that me and my team have prepared. And this is it. I'm going to keep quiet. You guys watch it. You guys make the conclusion for yourself.
Phone radiation is harmful, but few want to believe it.
Concerned about laptop radiation? Well, you should be.
Cell phones do seem to have some mysterious effect on the brain.
Guys, I had no idea that I'd been exposed to this unseen radiation, EMR, without even realizing it. So I've got to find out some more information, and I've got to find somebody who knows what they're talking about. Firstly, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to see me today.
You're welcome.
I'm actually here to ask you some questions about EMR.
Sure, let me share you some information. So when we look into electromagnetic radiation, we need to understand there's so many components to it. The first thing we need to see is, of course, the ionizing radiation, which we refer to like nuclear exposure, space exposure, where these kind of ionizing radiation can be dangerous. Even also the usage of like X-ray. And then there's another component which is less harmful, but we cannot rule it out, which is non-ionizing radiation. These come from our phones, laptops, our microwave, and even our Wi-Fi. But you must know something, that there's something called as Rulux formation, where red blood cells start to stack on each other. So if you see there are blood vessels, there are many branches in them. Okay, so then you have red blood cells traveling inside, and imagine this is a red blood cell, and they start to form clumps or stagnation. They start to stack among each other. So what happens is, due to the presence of iron inside red blood cells, they are rich in ferrite, magnets or electromagnetic radiation increase or makes their charge more positive, and they start to stack. And when they start to stack, this disrupts their interchange between delivering oxygen into the cells and then taking up carbon dioxide into the red blood cells.
Oh, guys, let me pause the video. I've been receiving feedback that the video is very choppy and quite laggy. Let me fix that by playing it directly from the source. 1 second, yeah.
Phone radiation is harmful, but few want to believe it.
Concerned about laptop radiation? Well, you should be.
Cell phones do seem to have some mysterious effect on the brain.
Guys, I had no idea that I'd been exposed to this unseen radiation, EMR, without even realizing it. So I've got to find out some more information, and I've got to find somebody who knows what they're talking about. Firstly, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to see me today.
You're welcome.
I'm actually here to ask you some questions about EMR.
Sure, let me share with you some information. So when we look into electromagnetic radiation, we need to understand there's so many components to it. The first thing we need to see is, of course, the ionizing radiation, which we refer to like nuclear exposure, space exposure, where these kind of ionizing radiation can be dangerous. Even also the usage of like X-ray. And then there's another component which is less harmful, but we cannot rule it out, which is non-ionizing radiation. These come from our phones, laptops, our microwave, and even our Wi-Fi. But you must know something, that there's something called as rouleau formation, where red blood cells start to stack on each other. So if you see there are blood vessels, there are many branches in them. Okay, so then you have red blood cells traveling inside, and imagine this is a red blood cell, and they start to form clumps or stagnation. They start to stack among each other. So what happens is, due to the presence of iron inside red blood cells, they are rich in ferrite, magnets or electromagnetic radiation increase or makes their charge more positive, and they start to stack. And when they start to stack, this disrupts their interchange between delivering oxygen into the cells and then taking up carbon dioxide into the red blood cells. There's many studies and journals that are citing that an excessive exposure towards the EMR can lead to cancer provocation in the body, whether it's benign or malignant. Possibilities are there.
After hearing about all these health problems, I'm a bit concerned about myself, and I'm curious to know what my red blood cells could actually look like.
Yeah, we have a simple prick test, and we can actually analyze the red blood cells.
Okay,
let's do that.
Let's go. Being always on the phone and my laptop for work and learning about the health effects of EMR is beginning to worry me. So let's find out what my results of my blood test are, as suggested by Dr. Roland.
So what we can see here are red blood cells. We can see red blood cells, they are very translucent and they don't have a nucleus. And we can see beautifully the red blood cells moving around in the matrix. So my question to you is, how long since you were away from your phone?
I think about 40 minutes maybe.
That seems not your kind of reality.
Oh no, I'm on my phone all the time.
Okay, so what we can do is, you get on your phone for maybe close to about half an hour, holding it, and then we'll check again and see how does the capillary blood look like.
It looked like my first blood test result was clean, with no signs of blood clotting or blood clumps. But would just 30 minutes of cell phone usage really do any harm at all to my body? I hope not. Let's find out.
Okay, let's have a look. So you can see all the cells now being stacked. See, all of them are, we cannot see those loose cells. We can see most of the cells now all stacked.
Clumped up together, right?
Exactly. Just look at that. The big message is always to try to reduce our exposure. It's almost impossible not to use, but try to be a bit more cautious in the usage.
The thing is, I know you say it's better to reduce. It's impossible for somebody like me, and I'm sure there's lots of people out there that also need to be holding their phones. So Is there anything I can do?
This is the device that can actually help harmonize your electromagnetic frequency wave. And you want to see how it works?
Sure.
Come. See how much of exposure is going. Can you see the exposure to your phone?
Yeah.
It's high, right?
Yeah.
You can see the laptop and all still are having a lot of exposure. So I'm going to turn this on.
Wow.
No exposure.
It's zero.
Yeah, exactly.
With the environment harmonizer turned on beside me, Dr. Roland and I proceeded to do a third blood test to see just how well this technology supposedly suppresses EMR. Okay, so this looks completely different to the last test, doesn't it?
Yep. Clearly looks different, lesser ruler formation.
Okay, well thank you so much for introducing me not only into the health factors we need to be aware of when it comes to using devices, but also thank you for showing me a solution that can eliminate that.
How was that, guys? Was that interesting? So yeah, coming back to Dr. Magda Harvest, she talks about how electromagnetic devices can actually cause Rulox formation in our red blood cells in our bodies, and we actually tested it out ourselves. And we got, of course, guys, don't go and start picking your finger. This was done in a proper medical clinic by a proper medical personnel, right? So again, how does it affect our human body? I think that is something that you can conclude yourself. To me, I would rather have my blood free flowing instead of it being clumped up like that. At the end of the day, I want my body to have the most oxygen possible because oxygen heals the body, right? Now, the emGuarde is a patented technology. It harmonizes targeted high-frequency electromagnetic noise radiation up to 1 gigahertz. And the cover range is up to 4 meters in radius and 8 meters in diameter. All right. Now, this is another video just to share with you on basically a power box. Now, every single house, office, building has a main power box. Just take a look at how dangerous this power box is. Induction cooker. Your laptop. Conclusion is that RD is that device that he was holding to detect the noise, right? Can effectively probe the intensity of high-frequency electromagnetic noise radiation from electrical and electronic appliances. And it also shows that the emGuarde is able to harmonize or reduce and suppress those noises, right? Now let's talk about the range, the effective range of the emGuarde unit. I get some prospects who go and say, oh, how sure are you that this product is able to cover that kind of distance? Maybe you're just saying it for a marketing gimmick. Well, let's find out, because we did an experiment and we have concluded that the emGuarde does cover the range that it says it does.
Alright, so in this section of the video, I'm going to show you how emGuarde has the ability to alleviate the radiation from this LED light bulb 4 meters away from this antenna. Okay, so now first of all, I would like you to see the screen. From the software itself, everything is clear before I turn on the LED. Now as soon as I turn on the LED, as you can see, you can actually see that the noise field from the EM radiation comes back, and it's actually showing in this blue curvy line. Okay, so now I'm going to invite my team to take this emGuarde away from me for about 4 meters, okay, in radius. Okay, now I'm going to invite my team to power on the emGuarde just plug the USB-C, leave it on the table. Now as soon as the emGuarde's on, as you can see, the frequency spectrum from the SDR software has been cleared away. Okay? Now, as soon as I unpower the emGuarde, please remove the power line from the emGuarde, just unplug. Wait for about 2 to 3 seconds. The radiation from the LED comes back immediately. Now let's do another control test by powering up the emGuarde again. Please put the USB-C power cable into the emGuarde. There you go. And immediately, as you can see, everything is cleared away. And this is to show you that emGuarde works effectively 4 meters away from this antenna.
Right, so again, we have already proven that the emGuarde is capable of suppressing electromagnetic noise 4 meters away from you. Now, I would like to introduce the people who have actually invented this amazing technology called the emGuarde. Now, there are 5 gentlemen, and if you can just take note of their previous jobs, you would see that every single one of them comes from Panasonic. Mr. Lau, who was 14 years old in Panasonic, he's a former Panasonic Global Procurement Center specialist. Mr. Yen was a former Panasonic QA AGM. Mr. Teo, former Panasonic Design Development AGM. Mr. Poon. Now, Mr. Poon is the guy who basically came out with most of all the invention. He was the one that created, he had the knowledge, and he was the one that created this emGuarde product and developed it with the team, right? And you have Mr. Chan, who's a former Panasonic Design AGM. So all of these gentlemen are very, very respected engineers who have worked many, many years in Panasonic. So how does the emGuarde really work, right? Now, we know that all of the electronic devices around us, maybe your phone, your laptop, or even anything, produces this so-called noise, electromagnetic radiation noise. The emGuarde basically comes in and suppresses these noises. Now, I'm going to repeat myself. It is suppressing it. It is not cancelling it or destroying the radiation. The radiation still exists. It's just that because the emGuarde is capable of suppressing the exact frequencies, it actually does close to no harm to the human body. I hope you guys understand that. Right, as it's written right there, emGuarde utilizes harmonic frequencies to effectively suppress targeted electromagnetic noise radiation between the 3 megahertz to 1000 megahertz range within 4 meter radius. This harmonizing method achieves a balanced atmosphere while preserving the natural ambient frequencies. Again, you ask me what these frequencies, targeted frequencies are. I don't have the answer because it is protected by the company. All right, guys. So again, emGuarde suppresses these noises. Now, this is a report for our fellow Malaysians. You would know that this is a very prestigious report. And this is actually one of the top science reports that you can get is by University Science Malaysia. Now, they have basically acknowledged the effective range of RF white noise suppression of the emGuarde. They have already confirmed this. And how they did this? These are the results. If you can look, you can read with me. Number 1, the electromagnetic noise radiation harmonizer emGuarde successfully performed as required distances of 4, 5, and 6 meters in radius under the various environment as tested. So they tested in 3 different environments. One was in a residential space, one was a working office, and the third one was in a proper laboratory setup. And in that whole entire report right there, you can see that those suppressions are actually suppressed. Number two, if you read up there with me, the electromagnetic noise radiation harmonizer, emGuarde, effectively suppresses unwanted electromagnetic noise waves between 71 and 73 megahertz. So actually, we have already identified one of the few ranges that the emGuarde has been suppressing already. There are more, of course, there are more, but we don't really know. So if you look at the report, emGuarde off, noise wavelength, they were quite big, -39, -37, and then percentage of suppression with the emGuarde on, right? These things do go down. I hope you guys can see this, and this was basically the testing that was done, the houses and as well as in the office. And lastly, it was done in a proper laboratory setting. So this was done by University Science Malaysia. Now, this was also a report of the same wavelength. They call it the SDR, which is basically software defined radio. I'm not an engineer, so I don't really understand how the SDR system really works. All I'm focused on is that the emGuarde is capable of breaking up all these waves, as you can see, right? You can see right here, the line in the middle is breaking up those noise at 72 megahertz. In the working office, again, all of these normal frequency noises have been suppressed and is being cut off. And even in the laboratory. Now, these are all of the reports that University Science Malaya has provided. And in conclusion, the emGuarde electromagnetic voice radiation harmonizer successfully alleviates unwanted electromagnetic noise waves between 71 megahertz and 73 megahertz in all test environment up to a coverage of 6 meters. So in our company, we've been telling people 4 meters because that is the minimum that the factory has told us that it would cover. If it goes further than that, then great, right? It's better to under-promise than to over-promise. Now, another certification that we have is something called the SGS. You can Google SGS. SGS is probably one of the top 5 regulatory bodies that actually governs all of these electromagnetic devices. So they have done many different testings in proper laboratory setup, and you can see it's actually quite extreme or quite fancy in terms of laboratory testing. They do many different types of testing with the emGuarde, and they have concluded that the emGuarde is capable of suppressing EMR radiation noises up to 4 meters. So when customer come and questions whether the product is really capable of suppressing the EMR, you have the confidence, yes, because first you have SGS. Second, it's already been tested by one of the most respected bodies for science department in Malaysia itself, right? And this is the emGuarde product. Now, if you are interested in getting yourself an emGuarde today, go and speak to the person who has invited you into this call, right? For all of us Kangen distributors, we know for our Kangen water, our slogan was change your water, change your life. But for the emGuarde, we have a different slogan. It's called change your environment, change your life. So it's truly amazing. Now, this product, I have some secrets to share with you. In 2024, this year, emGuarde is going international. Now, how soon is it going to come into your particular country, whether you're from Europe or you're from America, India, whatnot have you? I do not know the answer as to when. But you can at least expect it to come within this year. And I bet a lot of you can't wait to get your hands on one of these emGuarde units. For those who have the emGuarde product in your country already, please do consider in investing one of these devices for your home, because I believe that you will feel a lot more secure knowing that you and your family are protected from all of these electromagnetic radiation noises. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've come to the end of the product presentation. It was a lot of information to give to you guys, but I hope you guys can see the value of this product in the market. You know, when we talk about electronic devices, we all know that exposing ourselves to all our phones and laptops for too long, we know is bad for us. We know. And there has not been a solution or an answer to that problem until now. Now the emGuarde is coming in again. Like I repeat myself, it's coming in at such a delicate moment and such a monumental time, because in today's society, guys, everything is being overtaken by electronics. Our cars, now we have fully automated cars. Very soon we have fully automated robots helping us with things. You know, so in today's society, the dependency on electronics is going up, and we cannot avoid it. But we can do something about our environment to protect ourselves whilst this so-called technological improvements are happening every single day. So if you're one of those persons that see the value of this emGuarde, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you the Enegic emGuarde business. Now, I'm not going to take a break.